That bitch is dragging her feet not even as fast as she is in bed. Where's Stephanie? You screwing with me?
Sir, don't get upset yet. Miss Stephanie said she's going to the storage room to get some emergency candles. This heavy rain might cause a power outage soon. She'll be right back.
She's kept us waiting half an hour, I say. She's...
All of you. You were all invited to this dinner party. What's all this shouting? It's disgraceful.
What's the rush? She loves watching us squirm.
She's probably hiding in some corner laughing at us. But why on earth would she gather all 8 of us here? The invitation said she needed medical attention, but from the look of it...
Something's wrong. Stephanie is never late, and she would never miss this gathering.
I'll go outside and check. Maybe she's trapped on the way.
What is that? Dead?
The Scudder's the licensed Jews. The price protected him.
Yours tank you shuv and quite about Mantins here.
The ferry's been shut down by the storm. No boats in or out before or after the incident. Stephanie was murdered. You 8 are the only ones who had contact with her. You are all suspects.
What's going on? We didn't do anything at all.
When this is over, you better give us an explanation, Sheriff. Otherwise, the royal family will not take this lightly.
Of course. Damn it. I was the first one to suggest checking on Stephanie. They must be suspecting me. The medical examiner will arrive in 1 hour. Once the results are in, I hope you will cooperate fully. Do not hide anything.
Officer, when can we leave this place?
If no suspect is identified within 72 hours, you'll be allowed to leave. Until then, please endure it. Don't wander around. Avoid unnecessary trouble.
It's not the head raid wound it appears to be.
What was the cause of death?
The body has a minor impact mark on the head, but not fatal. The real cause of death is drowning.
Drowning? Her hands and feet were tied. You mean someone bound her and threw her into the sea? Drowned her alive?
There's trace seawater in her mouth and nose, severe pulmonary edema consistent with drowning. The bindings on her wrists and ankles are very tight, likely prevent her from struggling.
Officer, are the forensic results in? How did Stephanie really die?
The forensic confirmed Stephanie did not die from the head wound. She was bound hand and foot, thrown into the sea, and drowned alive.
Drowned alive? This isn't a crime of passion, this is premeditated murder.
Drowning? How is that possible? She was lying on the beach. How could she have drowned?
Officer, are you sure? The beach is a distance from the water. If she drowned, how did her body end up on the beach?
The forensic doesn't make mistakes. The killer must have drowned her in the sea, then dragged her body onto the beach, deliberately creating the false impression of a head injury to mislead everyone.
It wasn't me. I wouldn't hurt her. If not you, then who? You were the first one to suggest going out. Maybe you tied her up and threw her into the sea. You're lying! Stop!
Everyone here is a suspect. Don't make base mace accusations against anyone. Next, I will question everyone about the details of the case. I hope everyone answers truthfully and conceals nothing. First question. Did any of you have a grudge against Stephanie? Ken, you first. I have no quarrel with her. Just acquaintances. How did you meet? I'm a sailor on the ship, had to deal with Stephanie. I asked, do you have a grudge against her? No. She even looked down on me. Melinda, what about you?
Her and I, old friends, two-faced bitch. If you ask me, she deserved to die. Karma. But I'm not the killer. I wouldn't ruin my career.
Why do you hate her?
No reason. She just deserved to die.
Next.
I wouldn't dare cross her, let alone kill her.
Miss Stephanie and I were just friends. No bad blood.
Officer, Mrs. Chris and I were invited guests, dragged into this case by accident. There's nothing to explain, is there?
All right. Yeah, I barely knew her.
Don't get me wrong, I'm just a friendly Kilistian. In detective novels, even the smarter leave traces. Instead of wasting time here, go find the evidence.
I agree.
Finding evidence, yes. But right now I suspect you, John, of trying to deflect.
You're wrong, officer. The truth is, I've loved her for years. I would have died.
Great, then go die! Easy now. Ken, you loved Stephanie, but she looked down on you. Am I wrong? Since none of you will tell the truth, let's lay out every single secret, one by one, until it's all clear. Ladies and gentlemen, the coroner extracted a complete knot impression from the ligature marks on Stephanie's wrists and ankles. It's a reef knot. The reef knot is secure and won't slip. It's mostly used in sailing, loading cargo. Few civilians can tie one this clean, this precise. Among everyone here, only one person handles ropes every day and is an expert at tying this exact knot.
Wasn't me! I'm a sailor! Of course I can tie a reef knot, but I didn't kill her! Officer, it's gotta be him. He's a sailor, he ties reef knots, and he was the first one who offered to go out looking for Stephanie. If it's not him, who is it?
He just looks so terrifying. Oh, brute strength.
Officer, pinning him as the killer based on nothing but a knot, isn't that a bit rash?
I didn't say he's the killer, but he is our prime suspect at the moment. Ken, do you have anything to say for yourself?
I'll say it again. I didn't kill her!
The calluses do come from rope work, but the force behind those ligature marks doesn't match the grip strength Ken developed from years of handling mooring lines. Ken is merely a smoke sheen, a warning to the real killer hiding among them. Ken, given that you are now under strong suspicion, you are hereby restricted in your movements effective immediately, and will be placed under dedicated officer supervision. Mr. Dave, is there anything you'd like to share?
Huh? No, I...
Allow me to jog your memory. For instance, what exactly was your relationship with the deceased? Mr. Dave, you and Stephanie, are you really not that close?
Of course not. I told you I don't have much of a relationship with her.
No relationship. Then how do you explain this photo?
This was a long time ago. It's long over.
Long time ago? How come I remember just about a year ago you two were often together at the dock bar? Dave, that's not what you said back then.
Talking nonsense! That was all a misunderstanding!
Misunderstanding? The coroner found your couple rings in Stephanie's personal bag. Dave, how much longer are you going to keep hiding?
We were indeed together, but we broke up a long time ago. What happened between me and her has nothing to do with her death.
Woke up. I heard you two didn't part on good terms. Stephanie seemed to have some kind of leverage over you, didn't?
No, I have no leverage in her hands.
Then how do you explain the large sum of money your company misappropriated last year to fill a gap? We've counted to show a sum of 500,000 would into Stephanie.
That was a loan I gave her, not misappropriation. I'll pay it back.
Loan, 500,000 is no small sum. Mr. Dave, embezzling company funds is already illegal. If Stephanie used this to park me, would you have killed her to silence?
Not me. I didn't kill her. I admit misappropriating funds was wrong, but I wouldn't dare kill anyone. She had leverage over me. I was too big trying to please her. How would I dare harm her? Officer, I remember Miss Stephanie told me before, someone owed her a large amount of money and said if they didn't pay up, that person's dirty launder would be exposed. Could that be Mr. Dave?
Shut up! What do you know?
Dave, calm down. Is what Rick said true? Did Stephanie use the embezzlement to slackmail you?
Yes, she blackmailed me. She said if I didn't pay her back soon, she'd tell the company about the embezzlement and call the police on me.
So you killed her? Only with her dead would no one be able to blackmail you.
I admit I hated her. I hated her for blackmailing me with this. I hated her for looking down on me. But I really didn't kill her. That night, I was with everyone the whole time until Ken suggested going out to look for her. That is what I got up to. I didn't have time to kill her.
You were with everyone the whole time, John. You tell me. Did Dave leave the living room in the half hour before the incident?
Yes, he said he was going to the restroom. Was gone for about 20 minutes or so. Not me. It really wasn't me.
You have the motive, the time, and a past grudge with the deceased. Who else could it be?
Dave, given your strong motive for murder and the suspected embezzlement, from now on you are temporarily restricted in your freedom and will be kept separate from Ken.
I didn't kill her! I've been framed! You'll regret this!
Since the truth is already clear, can we close the case and let us leave now? Besides the physical evidence found at the scene, the forensic team also conducted a thorough search of Stephanie's residence. In a hidden drawer at the very bottom of her desk, they found this recording pen.
I know they hate me, Every one of them hates me. I've seen the worst side of each of them. I hold their secrets. They will come after me sooner or later.
She already knew someone was going to kill her? Then why did she invite all of us here?
I'm afraid she did it on purpose. She expected someone would strike at her. Perhaps this gathering was a trap she set.
A trap? She had the ability for that. But no matter how clever she was, she couldn't escape this fate.
There's more to the recording. Listen carefully.
If something happens to me, their secrets will surface little by little with my death. Each one of them will be ruined and pay the price they deserve.
It seems Stephanie was more ruthless than we thought. She knew someone wanted to kill her, but instead of hiding, she gathered us here to ensure that her death would expose the murderer.
Mr. John is correct. Stephanie's recording proves that every one of you had a deep grudge against her.
You did that on purpose?
Yes. Now voluntarily state your complete whereabouts on the night of the crime. The crime each of you.
Dave is her ex-lover. She has evidence of his embezzlement, and he was gone for a full 20 minutes.
I just went to the bathroom. You're the one afraid she'll ruin your career. Can that new project of yours withstand an investigation? Slandering me while I'm away, that's so despicable.
You're slandering me! Killing her benefits you the most. Once she's dead, that bad debt can never be proven.
Ken has something she holds over him. He's the most suspicious. Stephanie found out he's on parole. Shut up, afraid your workplace conspiracy with Monica will be exposed, so you killed her. You snuck out to see her last month. I didn't. I was in my room the whole night.
I argued with her, but I didn't kill her. Gertrude can testify. I just wanted to terminate the contract. It was normal business negotiation from start to finish.
I won't testify for you. I also have things I'm afraid she'll expose. Monica, you know exactly how many hidden agendas were in your normal negotiations.
You left for 15 minutes. Enough time to do anything, and I also secretly checked her will. What's with the act? The female in your new book is her, isn't it? You talk about love, but you clearly want a share of her property. Still better than being blackmailed for embezzling funds. But Christine has been very quiet.
At daybreak tomorrow, I will interrogate each of you one by one.
She hides the most secrets, just doesn't dare to say them. Right, Christine?
It wasn't me. I really didn't.
Enough! All of you shut up! Accusing each other is useless. Everyone is a suspect, and everyone has secrets.
What do you want from us?
Stop hiding. Tell me about your argument with Stephanie and your dirty deeds.
It was just a normal argument. I did nothing wrong, and I certainly didn't kill her.
A normal argument? Last year, your surgical error caused a patient's death. You falsified medical records and took bribes. Stephanie had the evidence, didn't she?
That was the patient's own condition. Don't slander me.
Then why did you alter the records and take $500,000? Did she blackmail you with that?
Yes, I admit it. I couldn't let my future be destroyed. She blackmailed me, forced me to perform illegal abortions for her, steal anesthetics. If I refused, she'd expose me.
So you hated her and wanted to silence her? After the argument, you were unaccounted for 10 minutes. Where did you go?
I hated her, but I didn't kill her. Those 10 minutes, I went to the restroom. There wasn't even time to go to the beach.
10 minutes is enough to go back and forth. You dare say you didn't go looking for her, trying to snatch back the evidence?
I'm not stupid enough to kill. I had opportunities to destroy the evidence. No need to take that risk.
Did she blackmail anyone else? Mention anyone else's secrets?
She said someone was more afraid of her than I was. Secrets that could destroy a person completely. But she didn't say who.
Confessed, didn't you? I knew you were bad news.
She had that much dirt on you. And you really didn't silence her? I hated her, but I'm no killer. Your project fraud. Once exposed, you're worse off than me.
Stop fighting. The next question might be one of you. Think about how you'll explain yourselves.
Yourself. Everyone here has dirty secrets. Her recording made that very clear.
Stop pretending. Stephanie had dirt on you that could ruin your acting career. Confess.
That dirt was all fabricated by her. She was jealous of my fame and wanted to destroy my career.
Fabricated? What about the video of you sleeping your way to that period lead role 3 years ago and the 500,000 bribe transaction? Are those fake too?
These are all slander.
Here's the original video, your plastic surgery records, and your stunt double contract. Ironclad evidence. And you still deny it?
She forced me. She blackmailed me with that dirt. I had no choice.
Explain clearly. How did she blackmail you, and what dirty things did you do?
I'll talk. She had dirt on me, my sleeping around for roles, my plastic surgeries, me bad-mouthing other actresses. She forced me to give her 30% of my earning and endorse fake products for her. If I didn't, she'd expose me.
Details, now.
I wasn't getting anywhere in my career. I slept with someone to land a role and paid a $500,000 bribe. I hired bots trash to trash the original lead actress and forced her to quit the industry. I had surgery but pretended I was natural. I used stunt doubles but bragged about doing my own stunts. She knew everything.
How did she find out all these secrets?
She bribed my former assistant. He took all the evidence and gave it to her. She turned me into her personal ATM.
You hated her. Did you kill her to silence her? Was that what the argument was about at the time of the murder?
I hated her, but I didn't kill her. We argued. Then I went back to the living room. I never had a chance to do it.
No one can prove you never left. 15 minutes is plenty of time to get to the beach and back.
I didn't kill her. I wouldn't gamble my career away. I'm not stupid enough to throw everything away.
Whether you killed her or not, we will find out. But your crimes won't escape responsibility either.
I know I was wrong, but I really didn't kill her. Please investigate. I can't let this destroy me.
You are not allowed to leave or collude with anyone during the investigation. Officer, take her back to the living room for further questioning. This is the latest will of Stephanie, found in your briefcase.
You searched my personal belongings. That's against the rules.
Rules. At a murder scene, no one plays by rules. This will was signed the day before she died. Only you and the lawyer had it.
She and I were close. She entrusted it to me, that's all.
Close. You claimed to love her, yet never mentioned the will. She knew someone wanted to kill her. Why give the final will to you?
We also found this notebook. It's a detailed breakdown of Stephanie's assets. It's my writing reference. A writer needs real material.
Writing reference? You need exact figures on her trusts, insurance, properties, even funeral payouts? Did you love her, or what she'd bring you after death?
I didn't kill her.
You had the most access to her, knew her schedule best, had the strongest motive to wait for her death and cash in on this will. You say you love her. Your love is hiding in the dark, calculating how much she's worth dead?
I love her, so I couldn't hurt her. The will, I was just helping her.
Because of love? Or profit?
You're right, but what if the will was her trap for the real killer?
Rick, confess now, and you can still be considered as confessing voluntarily.
Sheriff, I've said everything I need to say. I really don't know anything.
Don't know? Then these. Whose are these?
That's fake.
Fake. 3 years ago, you worked at a finance firm. To fight for a promotion, you fabricated evidence that your colleague leaked trade secrets, causing him to be fired, burdened with debt, his family broken.
It's his own lack of ability. Just normal competition. Sheriff, this was found in Stephanie's safe, recording all of Rick's criminal details.
Stephanie found all your criminal evidence from the moment you started working at the Mann, and she used these handles to control you, to order you around, am I right?
She held my handles, pushed me everywhere, made me do this and that, kept saying she'd expose me, send me to prison.
So you developed murderous intent. Once she dies, no one can bring out your evidence. You can safely rise to power and completely whitewash your...
I hate her! I wish she would shut up! But I didn't kill her, I really...
The night of the crime, everyone was in the living room. Only you, under the pretext organized supplies, stayed alone in the storage room. No one can prove, and no one can rule out the possibility that you went out.
I hate her threatening me, I hate her manipulating me, but I dare not kill. Once I kill, I'm finished. All these years of swallowing humiliation, not to send myself to
prison.
When
you framed your colleague and destroyed his family, why didn't you think about today? Stephanie holds your fatal workplace scandals, blackmailing you long-term. That is your most sufficient and direct motive for murder.
Please believe me. I was wrong. I was really wrong back then.
Right or wrong, it's not up to you. From now on, you are under formal arrest on suspicion of intentional homicide. Career climbing, framing colleagues, long-term blackmail, another person pushed to the brink by secrets.
I was wrong!
Mrs. Gertrude, you are the elder of the Stephanie family, and the most core stakeholder of this inheritance.
I swear on my family's honor, I have nothing to do with her death.
Nothing? Stephanie changed her will directly, affecting your control over the entire family's assets. Once the will takes effect, you will lose your board seat, estate management rights, and even family voice.
Inheritance matters are inable family arrangements. I respect her decision.
Respect Stephanie explicitly stated that she wanted to transfer her assets to an outsider. The elder in line for Brugnini view you to silently sit falling. Campbell isn't that motive?
I am the elder. Protecting the family is my duty. I won't deny that I am best satisfied with the will. but I have lived in life dirty methods to save.
These are records of your 3 visits to Stephanie's study before the accident. What did you go there for?
I only advised her to be prudent. The family foundation cannot be treated as a game. I argued with her, but only over differences in principle.
Argued? Stephanie threatened you with the will, saying she would expose your past decision-making mistakes in managing family assets, ruining your reputation. You feared both losing the inheritance and being disgraced.
She doesn't understand the weight of the family. I did hate her stubbornness, but I would not kill her.
You know who the killer is, don't you?
I trust the police have their own judgment, but I must remind you, the real killer is not a vicious monster, but someone pushed to the edge. She has lived with dignity and nobility all her life. She should not have her dignity torn apart in public.
You're protecting Chris.
I am protecting family dignity. Who the killer is, the truth will come out.
But I will never to save myself trample on an innocent lady's honor. You had murderous intent because of the inheritance crisis. Yet out of your dignity, you respect and protect the real killer. That is equivalent to complicity.
In my life, I have never killed nor shielded a killer, but I know how to respect the weak and protect dignity. What Mrs. Chris has endured is deeper than all of you can imagine. I will cooperate with all investigations, but I will not identify anyone I am not certain of. Stephanie's death has to do with inheritance, with leverage, with hatred, everything except me.
Mr. Grew, your dignity is worthless in the face of a murder case. Your motive, your stance, your abnormal protection have firmly nailed you to the suspect list.
I await the truth. But remember, some secrets, once uncovered, destroy not just one person, but the entire family.
Chief, we found something.
What is this?
Over here too. Quite a lot.
Smuggled goods. You're an ordinary sailor. Where did you get these? Just bring in stuff for someone. Making extra cash. None of your business. None of my business? Stephanie was a lawyer. She handled commercial disputes and economic cases. Did she find out about your operation? She came to me. What did she want? She asked me to look into someone. Shipping records, arrival and departure times, container numbers. She paid me. I did the job. Who? Didn't say. Just gave me a code name. Told me not to ask questions. After I looked into it, I found out that shipment. It ran on the same route as my stuff.
So she found your smuggling chain? Was she going to expose you?
Scared of what? I'm just a sailor. I've been to prison. I've got nothing. If she wanted to turn me in, she would have done it already.
Then what did she want? To threaten you? Control you? She said, as long as I did what she said, she would help clean my record, help me get a clean license, let me work for a proper shipping company.
She gave you false hope. You did her work for her. It was a transaction.
A transaction? I guess so. But she kept putting it off. Every time I asked, she said, wait. Then later she said she couldn't protect that shipment anymore. She told me to figure it out myself.
So you hated her. She gave you hope, then she crushed it herself.
I didn't kill her. I hated her for lying to me, for playing me. But I didn't kill her.
You have smuggled goods to hide, a criminal record to clean, hatred from having your hope crushed. You're strong, you know ropes, you have the ability. Ken, your motive is more direct than anyone else's.
Chief, I've been on boats since I was 18, 20 years at sea. I've been to prison. People look down on me. Stephanie was the first person who said she could help me. I hate her for lying to me, but I hate myself more for believing her.
I need a full record of your smuggled goods. You are not allowed to leave Black Reef Island for now.
I know. Bring Rick here. It seems the truth is not that simple. Everyone, in the hidden compartment, we found the final draft of her will written 3 days before her death. Everyone's interests are completely reshuffled.
Disregarding the family, hiding secret documents. She wants to push me out of the family's core.
She even recorded the smuggling. She's trying to push me to the edge! 50,000. The embezzlement is all written down. I'm completely ruined.
I thought she loved me, but my inheritance share is directly zeroed out.
The evidence of framing colleagues, it's all on paper.
Sexual harassment, plastic surgery, smearing rivals. She wants to drag me down to destruction!
Medical malpractice being barked by her. Item by item, she remembers so clearly. From the very beginning, she wrote the ending for all of us.
The draft clearly states Gertrude deprived of inheritance and Gwenly Trites, David's embezzle record with real names, Melinda's entire entertainment scandal listed in the appendix. Rick's workplace framing evidence is fully documented. Ken's smuggling and criminal records are all noted. Monica's medical amalgaments and private files are fully archived. John's inheritance share is directly zeroed out. This is Elilas Mortimer's last will and testament. Now the truth is crystal clear. Stephanie set up this trap. Whoever was most afraid that this draft would be exposed, that person was the real culprit who killed her. The extra 7 minutes are more than enough to drag a body and fake the scene. You claim you went to the restroom for 10 minutes, but Gertrude saw you heading to the back door leading to the beach. You took a full 8 minutes to come back.
He's lying! I did go to the restroom! I'm not lying!
I saw it with my own eyes. You didn't go to the restroom. You came back 8 minutes later.
You left for 15 minutes to touch up your makeup. The powder room is right next to the storage room where the police found rope fibers matching the ones on the
I didn't do it! Taking a long time to fix my makeup is normal. You can't convict me based on that.
Even the slowest makeup touch-up doesn't take 15 minutes. And someone saw you coming from the direction of the storage room. You keep saying you were organizing supplies, but you were missing for 10 minutes. The surveillance camera clearly shows you walking toward the beach.
I was just resting in the hallway. I really didn't go to the beach. I didn't kill anyone.
You said you left for 10 minutes to get a document. The study faces the beach, and that notebook was already in your briefcase. Why the extra trip?
I was just getting some writing material. What's there to question?
You sat here the whole time, but you were silent with your head down for 5 minutes. Gertrude deliberately blocked the view for you multiple times. If that's not signaling, what is?
It really wasn't me. I was just too scared. I didn't do anything.
I can testify that she never left the living room for a single second.
Blocking the view like that doesn't hide anything. It only exposes the secret between you two. Mrs. Christ, is there anything you want to say?
So what if it was me? She stole it from me. She ruined everything I had.
Christ, calm down. Stop talking.
Oh! Who right not? It's that sling!
Your entanglement with her runs much deeper than others. That 5 minutes of deliberate silence on the night of the edit, were you confirming the timing to strike?
I recall before the incident I saw Christ jogging with Stephanie. Their voices were intense, as if something major had happened.
I did argue with her, but I didn't kill her. I hate her, but I'm not at the point of murder.
Sheriff, she's emotionally agitated. What she says can't be taken seriously. I can prove that on the night of the incident, she never left my sight.
Your proof has long lost its persuasiveness.
I didn't kill her. I didn't kill her.
Mrs. Christ, your personal vendetta with Stephanie is enough to be a motive for murder.
I didn't kill her.
As for Gertrude, are you and Stephanie really just an ordinary social relationship?
I didn't kill her.
This envelope was found by officers deep inside the mansion's fireplace.
Someone deliberately burned it, but because it was pressed under bricks, most of its outline and some remaining words on the inner page survive. The letter came from Stephanie. The recipient is Christine. Only 2 core phrases could be reconstructed: marriage invalid, bigamy.
No, that's not true.
Enough! They're just fragments. You can't take them as proof.
Whether it's proof or not, the clue is already clear. Christine's husband, Sidney, and Stephanie, they have an unbroken marriage. The fact of bigamy is established. The letter was burned. Obviously, someone trying to hide the truth. As for the whole story of the bigamy and how it relates to the murder, in the next interrogation, I will investigate everything one by one. Christine, what do you have to say now? Now let's make it clear. What exactly is the relationship among Sydney, Christine, and Stephanie? Today, she must speak for herself.
Sydney and I were officially married 3 years ago. We were well matched. Everyone thought we were perfect.
What about Stephanie?
6 months after the wedding, I found out Sydney had already registered marriage with Stephanie overseas. The marriage was never dissolved.
So, Sydney committed bigamy. Your marriage to Sydney is legally void from the start.
So that's it. Not a fiancé snatching, but bigamy.
No wonder she hated Stephanie. She was cheated on.
Yes. I was kept in the dark. Stephanie came to me with overseas marriage certificate, forced me to give up my status, my wealth, or she'd expose everything.
Sydney made a mistake, but Christine is innocent. If the bigamy is exposed, she'll be completely expelled from royal circles, never hold her head high again.
Did Stephanie threaten her with this?
2 full years. She kept blackmailing me, demanding I obey, demanding I give in.
The day before the murder, she sent that letter. Marriage invalid, bigamy to the mansion, planning to completely expose you at the dinner.
She wanted to turn me into a joke, an illegal wife in front of everyone.
Stephanie wanted to destroy her.
So you had the strongest motive. As long as Stephanie dies, the bigamy secret is buried forever. Your marriage, status, reputation, all saved.
I hate her. I wanted her to shut up, but I really didn't kill her.
All the conflicts between you and Stephanie stem from this bigamy fraud. Next, I will verify Sydney's Hawaii marriage records. The truth will soon come to light. This is the official marriage registration of Sydney and Stephanie. The date is 4 full years earlier than your marriage to Sydney.
4 years. Impossible.
Christine, no more.
He didn't marry you for love, but for your family, your status, the benefits you could give him. Stephanie is his legal wife. You are just a tool he used to climb the social ladder. He didn't marry you for love, but for your family, your status, the benefits you could give him. Stephanie is his legal wife. You are just a tool he used to climb the social ladder.
Christine, calm down.
My marriage was fake! My husband is a liar! I've been living in a complete lie!
Stephanie was going to expose all this at the dinner. For you, it wasn't just losing face, it was your entire life collapsing.
So she's the one who suffered most. 3 years of being deceived by the one she loved.
No wonder she's been so quiet. I thought she was high and mighty.
If someone played me like that.
Stephanie pushed her to the edge.
No matter how respectable the status, it can't hold up a marriage that was rotten from the roots.
Officer, can we close the case now?
Close what case? Where's the evidence? Where's the witness? Who can prove Christine is the murderer?
This is the old maid who has served the mansion for 20 years. She just remembered something that was overlooked.
The night before the murder, right before the storm came, I was tidying up by the seaside and saw something I shouldn't have. Around 8 at night, I saw Mrs. Christine and Miss Stephanie talking alone by the beach near the reef. No one else, just the 2 of them.
How long did they talk? What was the atmosphere?
About 15 minutes. They stood close, started with low voices. Then Miss Stephanie got very agitated, pointed Mrs. Christine's nose and yelled. Mrs. Christine kept her head down, trembling all over. I was far away, only caught fragments. Marriage, liar. Tomorrow everyone will know. You can't run.
The night before the murder, Stephanie had already threatened you one last time by the sea. Forced you to admit the marriage was invalid and told you the next night at dinner she would expose you publicly.
She forced me. She forced me to divorce voluntarily, give up everything, or else she'd ruin me.
So the night before, they had already completely fallen out.
Pushed to the edge like that, anyone would break down.
So her missing time, her breakdown, her motive, it all connects.
You begged her, didn't you?
I begged her to let me go. I could give her money, anything, but she wouldn't. She wanted to destroy me, trample me underfoot.
You weren't acting on impulse. You were pushed to the point of no return. That night by the sea, you already had murder in your heart. With both witness and evidence, Christine, confess.
Final confirmation from forensics. The fatal drowning occurred around 22 o'clock.
Cause of death? Drowning? Binding marks? Wait. Time of death.
The fatal drowning occurred around 22 o'clock.
At least 3 people can testify. No, it doesn't match at all. Around R2, everyone was in the live room, ran off. Ken had proposed to refer out to lugger someone. Christine done forward joy the whole time by joy it's only fimed, her sanger and tutover. And the victim was tied hand and foot, forcibly held underwater to drown, then dragged onto the beach alone requires physical strength. Christine is slim, has lived a life of ease for years. There's no way she had the strength to independently complete drowning, dragging the body, and faking the scene. There is a major reversal in the case. First, Stephanie's actual time of death was around 22 o'clock. At that moment, Christine was in the living room with an alibi. Second, the victim was drowned by force, then dragged onto the beach. Christine does not have enough physical strength to commit the crime alone.
Not her? Then the motive we had, the beach conversation, all of it was for nothing? But her reaction was so real. She broke down. It didn't look fake at all.
Motive, yes, but no opportunity, no capability. The real killer is someone else.
Then who is it?
Someone strong, skilled with ropes, familiar with the island. Could it be?
Not me. Really not.
Christine was indeed threatened, indeed pushed to the edge. She has hatred, she has motive, but she is not the one who committed the murder. Someone used Christine's hatred, used this storm to do what she dared not and could not do themselves. I've repeatedly cross-checked everyone's alibis from that night and found a fatal contradiction. Stephanie's time of death was around 22 o'clock, but according to your earlier statements, after 21:30, she never appeared in the living room again. That means, during the half hour between 21:30 and 22 o'clock, Stephanie was not in the living room, and no one seemed to have seen her. Where did she go? She's been asked out. First, the killer lured Stephanie out of the living room for some reason. They went to the seaside, and there, the killer struck.
That means this wasn't a crime of passion in a quarrel. Someone deliberately lured her to the crime scene.
Exactly. 2 contacts. First, calling her away. Second, committing the act. The killer didn't act impulsively, but executed a premeditated murder step by step.
Then, who could have called her away? Stephanie was so shrewd. She wouldn't follow just anyone.
That's the key question. The only people Stephanie would lower her guard for and follow alone are 2 types. Those she trusted, or those holding leverage she wanted.
You mean the killer lured her with something Stephanie was interested in?
Made progress on that thing you wanted to check, or let's talk a dia late, you name the terms. She wouldn't pass up any chance to gain leverage over someone.
So the killer wasn't acting on impulse. First lured her out, then found a chance to strike.
That night the rain was pouring, the waves were crashing, no one would pass by the seaside. The killer chose this time and place because the body wouldn't be easily found and the evidence would be washed away by the waves. This was not someone pushed to the edge acting in haste. This was a calm, rational, premeditated person patiently waiting for prey to take the bait in the darkness. So let me revise my earlier judgment. The killer's not a lamb pushed to the edge, but a hunter wearing a mask. First create a reason to meet, lure the prey into the trap, then strike. Christine, the new estrogen they fan tros, but was find over the hussing maudidens. By avdrashaitan the high band cumbling to foots, ni husto Stephanionoma siver suppotion, a jankstwar.
Yes. I approached her more than once.
When did it start? What exactly did you discuss with her?
2 years. Ever since I learned the truth about Sydney and her marriage, I begged her countless times, humiliated myself. I begged her to let me go, to annul that overseas marriage, not to expose everything. I didn't just give in. I gave her my mother's jewelry, dividends from my private assets, over and over, just to keep the secret buried. I even voluntarily gave up my social connections, helped her network, let her manipulate me, order me around.
She never relented?
She was insatiable. Every time I compromised, she became more demanding. She told me my marriage was void from the start, that everything I had should have been hers. She didn't keep the secret out of mercy. She kept it to slowly manipulate me, drain me dry.
She endured for 2 years, giving in every time, her spirit completely exhausted. Stephanie pushed step by step, showed no mercy, left her no way out.
The seaside argument the night before the murder, was that your last time begging her?
I begged her one last time not to expose me publicly at the dinner. I promised to give up all my wealth, completely withdraw from high society, only asking to keep my last shred of dignity. But she told me to my face she would ruin me, make Sydney me the laughingstock of everyone. I wished countless times that she would just disappear. I even fantasies didn't kill her, that if she were gone, have the guts, and I don't have the ability.
Your hatred is real and intense, there's no doubt about that. There are 24 hours left. I will give the final result tomorrow. This morning, at the coastal reef area, we discovered the suspected murder weapon, a blood-stained hardwood club. Preliminary examination shows the marks on this club are highly consistent with the compression wounds on the victim's head and the bruises on his body. It is highly likely the tool used by the killer.
Sheriff! I found something here!
Hardwood, substantial weight, can be used to strike or restrain. The dark red stains are dried blood, likely the victim's.
The waves have been washing all night, erasing most traces. This club was held down by seaweed, which is why it survived. It is the most crucial physical evidence in this case.
The killer likely discarded the weapon in a panic after the crime, hoping the waves would completely destroy the evidence. They never expected to be trapped under the seaweed and remain.
The killer is meticulous, has been planning for a long time, but they missed this one flaw.
Send it for testing immediately. Analyze the bloodstained DNA and lift any latent fingerprints from the surface. Then compare them against every suspect one by one. The killer deliberately discarded the weapon after the crime, trying to destroy the evidence and cover up their actions, but justice has a long reach. The physical evidence remains. Next, we will initiate fingerprint comparison. Whoever touched this club is the real killer.
Everyone stay where you are. We will proceed to the study immediately and take everyone's fingerprints one by one. The entire comparison process will be conducted openly. No one will be exempt.
Relax your fingertips. Press completely. Do not shake.
Not me. I never touched it. I really didn't.
Sheriff, she's emotionally fragile. Days of intense interrogation have drained her. A stress reaction is completely normal. You can't convict her based on...
Emotional outbursts are understandable, but your reaction is far too abnormal. Everyone else stayed relatively calm during the weapon comparison. Only you showed extreme panic. Why?
I'm scared. Everyone has a motive. Everyone is a suspect. Now that the murder weapon has appeared, you'll definitely blame me. I had motive. I had arguments I not deny, but I'm afraid you'll wrong.
Breakdown wasn't a panic of guilt. It was extreme grievance and fear. The contradiction makes the case even more confusing.
Panic does not prove guilt. Calmness does not prove innocence. Fingerprint comparisons do not lie. Objective evidence will give the final answer.
Sheriff, I think we may have all misunderstood Mrs. Chris.
What do you have to say?
I admit, I did see the argument between them, but that argument was about Mrs. Chris's Keeple's passive endurance, not malicious hatred. She was trapped in a marital scam, blackmailed by Stephanie for years, yet she never once acted out in revenge. She's just a victim, deceived and exploited. Even if she feels hatred, that's only human instinct. She's slender and lacks the strength to carry out an entire murder, and she has a solid alibi. To label her a suspect based solely on an emotional breakdown is far too rash.
That's fair. We can't convict someone on motive alone.
Earlier, I was just objectively stating what I saw, not deliberately accusing anyone. I simply don't want to see a deeply wounded, weak person become the focus of everyone's suspicion and take the blame for the real killer.
Your argument sounds fair, but in reality, you're deliberately shifting the focus. Either you truly pity her, or you're deliberately stirring the waters to protect the real culprit.
The truth will be determined by physical evidence.
I don't need to protect anyone, I'm just stating the facts.
Sheriff, comparison complete. The binding rope on the victim matches the ship's mooring rope stored in the warehouse perfectly. Same material, same texture, same thickness.
Ship's mooring rope. Tough, durable, extremely strong binding force. It's a tool commonly used by professional sailors.
In the entire estate, only Ken has been sailing for years. He is proficient in rope tying and fixing techniques, and he's the only one who is skilled at using this type of ship's mooring rope. Also, on the night of the murder, he had unaccounted time alone. Plenty of opportunity to commit the crime. The rope used to bind the victim came from the ship's mooring rope in the warehouse. That's your exclusive tool. You are proficient with rope techniques, familiar with the coastal terrain, physically strong, and you had a motive, a business dispute with Stephanie, being deceived and controlled by her.
It wasn't me! Someone is deliberately framing me! The warehouse rope isn't exclusive to me. Anyone could easily get it. Just because I know ropes in the coast, I'm the killer? That's intentional sabotage!
Stephanie had evidence of your smuggling crimes. She had leverage over you, destroyed your hope of turning over a new leaf. You were filled with hatred. That's ample motive. The rope came from the warehouse, and the evidence points strongly at you. How do you explain that?
I hate her, but I wouldn't kill anyone. I've struggled for 20 years just hoping for a stable future. Killing would only destroy myself. Please, the real killer's my leverage, my grudge, and deliberately use that rope to frame me, to make me the scapegoat.
The killer didn't just plan the murder. They also carefully designed a framing trap, using Ken's N's identity and grudge to perfectly hide their own traces.
Just because I know ropes in the coast, I'm the killer. That's intentional sabotage.
Guthrie, deprived of inheritance and management rights, the business she built her whole life will fall into someone else's hand. Her reputation and status destroyed. She has the motive to seize power and protect herself. John, deeply in love with Stemphis and simply sealed interests stripped away. Broken-hearted love turning to hate. Motive for murder. Melinda, her acting career scandals and private embarrassments all recorded. Once exposed, her career would be ruined, her reputation destroyed, her life completely collapsed. Motive for self-preservation. His history of workplace and framing colleagues is in Stephanie's hands. Blackmailed for years, potential ruin presentment. Murder motive hidden within. Monica, her medical malpractice privacy archived. Ready to be exposed at any moment. Career and reputation completely destroyed. To keep the secret, ample motive for murder. Gave evidence of embezzlement record under-recorded. Exposure would leave him in debt and disgrace. Cover up his stain. Eager Denline crushed by Stephanie's own hands. Ken deceived and controlled. Intense hatred, sufficient motive. Chris, 2 years of marriage fraud, long-term humiliation and blackmail. Her reputation, marriage status all under control. About to be publicly exposed at the dinner party. Her life completely destroyed. The most extreme hatred, the strongest motive. No exception. Every single one of them was tightly controlled by Stephanie. Every one of them has ample motive for murder. Her draft will was a death warrant covering everyone, pushing all of them to the brink.
That means every person present wanted Stephanie to disappear. Everyone has the psychological basis for committing the crime. The real killer is hiding among the 8.
Not only that, the real killer knew everyone's secrets, everyone's leverage, precisely exploited each person's motive and suspicion to plan the murder, forge evidence, frame others. Meticulous, extremely calculating. After a comprehensive review of all the evidence, all 8 suspects in this case have motive for murder. Stephanie held deadly leverage over every single one of you. On the night before the murder, all of you were facing ruin and destruction. Every one of you had a reason to silence her. But based on the time of the crime, physical capability, forensic traces, and the framing strategy, at present only one person simultaneously possesses the most extreme motive, emotional vulnerability, and the characteristics of being specifically targeted for suspicion. Chris.
Motive is not guilt.
And you stand to gain the most from her death. Although you have an alibi, the possibility remains that you secretly conspired with someone else, using another person as the killer.
I admit it. I hated her. Countless times I wished she would disappear. I have more reason than anyone here to want her dead. But I never killed anyone, and I never conspired with anyone to kill.
I was deceived, blackmailed, humiliated. I am the victim, not the killer. I will not take a human life just to protect myself and destroy what little dignity I have left.
Innocence requires proof, guilt also requires proof. Until the final definitive evidence is found, you remain the primary suspect in this case. No one is allowed to leave Black Reef Island. Everyone is sub to ongoing investigative control until the truth is revealed. The investigation will not stop. The primary suspect refuses to confess. The real killer still hides in the shadows. The whole murder case remains unsolved.
This way.
The biggest point of contention in this case has always been the Wijasant of Isatogumsi in the death scene. The discrepancies in tide and drag marks had brought all deductions to a standstill. Sheriff, after looking full re-examination, all drag marks on the victim body were formed while she was still alive in a dying state. No post-mortem falsification marks. The depth of durations are consistent. There's no possibility of later region falsati.
Focus on checking the tide trajectory. Does it match the marks perfectly? On the night of the murder, there was a rainstorm that accompanied a rising tide. The phone-driven tide spread the C-spec reef area toward the Sondan shallows. Heeners of fine Shaj and Grimsabre and senstrite staining patterns all extend according to in the tide of selection that not a single reverse deviates.
Most critically, the deep compression marks on the victim's back match the texture of the rough reef beach ground. Shallow beach sand could not have produced this kind of hard scratch mark. This proves that the initial spot where the victim fell and was dragged was the deep water reef area in the northwest.
If the killer had deliberately falsified the drag marks, it would be imprecisely match the reel's tide blanks and kern force and shot abrasion patterns that night white. Wogong falsify would inevitably have flaws, but the marks in this case are entirely narrow, 100% formed at the site.
The primary crime scene is right there on the coastal reef area. All the illusions meant to confuse the investigation and falsify the scene were just to cover up this one truth.
Sheriff, based on the re-examination results, what everyone previously claimed, an accidental argument at the beach, is not false. The murder did take place on the rainy night beach. There is no possibility of an indoor killing, followed by body transport.
Exactly. That also means the killer reached the deep water reef area that night, knew the tide patterns thoroughly, was familiar with the beach terrain, and every step they took precisely avoided leaving trace flaws.
Sir, trajectory reconstruction is complete, starting from the deep water reef depression, following the tide current to the shallow flat wager. The entire drag trajectory, the impact points, and the sand wear marks all perfectly match the wounds on the body. Zero deviation.
This is the primary point of death. The killer drowned Stephanie here, then used the natural tidal current to drag the body toward the shallow water. This saved effort and perfectly concealed the deliberate marks of a man-made drag. No wonder the scene looked chaotic after the waves came in. But the marks actually followed the tidal pattern the whole time. This was not the killer's panic refdaver, it was a carefully calculated, deliberate setup.
The killer knows Black Reef Island's tides extremely well. They knew the current speed and direction during the stormy night. They even predicted how long it would take for the waves to wash away the marks. They used nature to conceal man-made traces.
Supplementary check complete. The final body location is exactly where she was found. No secondary movement, no off-site disposal, no stage scene. The death location, the disposal location are completely the same.
There was no body movement, no off-site crime. This entire murder, from the argument, the attack, the drag layout to the body disposal, all happened right here on this beach. The killer came here that night and completed the entire process. Completely calm and in control throughout. This was not a crime of impulse. Combining all the physical evidence and the scene reconstruction, I can determine the killer's complete psychological arc. Complete emotional loss of control, then extremely rapid calm. A precise setup to close, a complete switch between two mind stats throughout.
Two mindsets.
The victim has multiple irregular impact wounds on her head. The force is chaotic, impact points random, a classic sign of attack controlled and emotional breakdown. It shows the killer's hatred erupting, a complete mental collapse, being in an extremely angry state. But the subsequent tying of the knots, the dragging with the current, the disposal of the weapon, using the tide to destroy evidence.
Every step was precise, calm, and highly methodical, without a single panic stake. Especially deliberately using the ship's rope that Ken commonly uses, being familiar with the beach and tide patterns, and precisely framing someone else. extremely meticulous.
That means the killer was first to the edge by Stephanie, emotionally collapsed and impulsively attacked, then immediately forced themselves to suppress the panic, quickly calmed down, and carefully laid out a plan to cover up the crime and frame someone else.
Perfectly explains all the contradictory points. In this case, they're both emotional flaws of controlled aggression and the reaction of a site setup. The killer is not a professional criminal, but an ordinary pushed into the edge, yet with extremely strong synechous resilience, quickly regaining calm after the crime and wenching the full plan to evade responsibility.
Item 7, a wooden club. The blow from the wooden stick was emotional release. The tidal drag of the body was rational evasion of responsibility. The first was hatred erupting. The second was survival instinct. In just over 10 minutes, the killer went from collapsed victim to calm perpetrator.
Then combined, this cesspool can be narrowed down significantly. Those who can switch emotions rapidly, who possess both hatred and meticulous calculation, very few.
It's someone who has endured silently for a long time, been controlled for a longer here. Someone who appears gentle and respectable, but inside wide extreme resent and hatred. Someone who is restrained and self-disciplined in daily life, but when pushed to the breaking point, erupts instantly. Then after regaining clarity, knows how to weigh the pros and cons and plan for self-preservation, perfectly matching all the characteristics.
Clues are closing in. The blurry portrait of the real killer is gradually becoming clear. The wave as lingered has been days is about to completely dissipate.
This, Stephanie's notes and draft record, everyone's secrets here. I held back before, but to find the truth and identify the killer, I have no choice but to reveal everything. Dave embezzled $500,000, living in fear. Rick destroyed a colleague's career and family 3 years ago. Ken, long-term smuggling with a criminal record. Monica concealed a medical malpractice that left a patient with permanent damage. Melinda slept her way to the top, plastic surgery fraud, trashed other actresses. Gertrude, early career decisions caused family losses, covered it up with manipulation. John pretended to be devoted but was always calculating the inheritance. Chris, trapped in a bigamy scandal, her entire life's dignity held hostage by someone else. Stephanie was like a cold mirror, reflecting everyone's ugliness and filth. She held everyone's vulnerability, not to expose them, but to control them. To turn all of you into pawns on her board. She wasn't in a hurry to expose anyone. She was waiting for the dinner party to tear you all down at once, to destroy your reputations, leave you with nothing. Everyone's fear, hatred, despair, all of it is real, all of it undeniable.
You want to know the truth? I am so tired of being the good wife.
You hate Stephanie more than anyone else. Others lose money, career, reputation. You lose your entire life.
You don't understand. For Melida, Monica, and the others, career stains can be washed clean, reputations can be rebuilt, money can be earned again, but I'm different. Marriage is my entire life. I grew up living by rules and dignity. All my life, I followed family etiquette and social circle rules. I managed my marriage seriously, maintained connections, protected the family's face. I thought everything I had was real, my life's foundation. 3 years of marriage. I gave my husband my true heart. I managed the household, helped the family, maintained the social circle. I treated my marriage as my only confidence, my only life value, but in the end, I learned it was all a lie from the beginning. He wanted to destroy the only foundation of my life the moment she exposed my secret. All my persistence, all my dignity, all my hope would completely collapse. For the rest of my life, only shame and humiliation. My husband was never mine. My identity was never mine. My dignity was stolen. My life is a joke in this life. Aside from this fake marriage, I have nothing. Stephanie didn't know that you wanted to. Stephanie or Mike too. To destroy Monroe Rep, and she wanted to destroy the only foundation of my life. I had no way out. No way out at all.
Now I can be sure. Everyone's motive in this case was never about money. It was about dignity. Completely trampled dignity.
Everyone's motive seemed to revolve around inheritance, money, career scandals. Why is dignity the core?
Gertrude isn't afraid of losing money. She's afraid of losing the family face she spent her life building. Dave isn't afraid of debt. He's afraid of his lifelong integrity collapsing. Rick and Ken aren't afraid of having nothing. They're afraid of their past being torn open in public. Monica and Melinda aren't afraid of starting over. They're afraid of their lifelong reputation being crushed. John isn't afraid of losing the inheritance. He's afraid of his true feelings being trampled. His devotion becoming a joke.
And Chris,
Her motive is the most extreme of all. She stopped caring about money long ago. What Stephanie destroyed was her lifelong dignity, her lifelong faith, her lifelong foundation. Money can be let go. Stains can be covered. But having your dignity torn apart in public, your entire life negated, that is something no one can bear.
So this isn't a murder for money. It's a dignity counterattack from someone pushed to the edge.
Exactly. Stephanie's cruelty wasn't taking money or holding leverage. It was precisely targeting everyone's dignity. Gnawing away, trampling, humiliating, pushing everyone to the edge. Killing for money requires greed. Killing for dignity requires despair. That is the root of why everyone here had a motive. The killer didn't act to protect wealth. They acted to protect the last shred of their human dignity. To stop their life from being destroyed in public, from becoming a complete joke.
Sir, the fingerprint comparison results on the wooden stick are in.
Complete fingerprint left on the surface of the wooden stick. The final match points to Chris. The ridge patterns and node characteristics are completely consistent. No error.
Sir, there are obvious secondary overlay marks on the fingerprint. The top layer is Chris's complete fingerprint. The bottom layer, a partial fingerprint that was deliberately wiped and blurred. Someone intentionally covered it up and tried to conceal it.
This can't be a coincidence.
The real killer touched the weapon first. After the crime, they deliberately wiped off their own fingerprints. Then, through contact or manipulation, they made Chris touch the wooden stick, leaving her complete fingerprint, a perfect frame. This hides their own traces while precisely shifting suspicion.
That means the fingerprint pointing to Chris, which seems like solid evidence, is actually the killer's final trap, designed to completely firm Chris as guilty and let themselves escape without a trace.
Meticulous methods, vicious intent. The killer understood everyone's relationships and suspicions. They calculated that Chris had the strongest motive, the most fragile emotions, the easiest to convict. So they went the extra step, overlaying the fingerprints twice to complete the final frame. It was actually the most elaborate lie.
The fingerprint results are in. The primary match is Chris.
Impossible! Chris cannot be the killer. This report is problematic.
Do not argue the fingerprint is real. I did touch that wooden stick.
You finally admit it.
I admit I touched it. I admit I hated her to the bone. I admit I wished she would disappear. But I still have to say I did not kill her. I admit I touched it. I admit I hated her. But hatred and touch never equal murder.
Since you touched the weapon, why did you deny it before, and why do you admit it now, yet still refuse to confess?
Denial is useless. The evidence is there. I touched it. I hated her. Those are facts. But hatred and touch never equal murder.
Restore all the hidden truths from the night of the incident. At 9:30 that night, Stephanie received a private invitation and voluntarily went to the Northwest Reef Beach. The person who invited her exploited her need for control and her greed for leverage.
Upon arrival, Stephanie publicly exposed Chris's bigamy scam, humiliating him with cruel words. Completely shattering Chris's last shred of dignity.
2 years of oppression and confrontation reached its peak. Chris completely broke down. An argument broke out on the spot, hatred at its peak. During the argument, Chris lost control, picked up a wooden stick from the beach, and had a physical struggle with Stephanie, touching and swinging the stick. That is the real reason her full fingerprints were left on the murder weapon. But she only argued, resisted, and vented. She did not kill anyone, nor did she have the ability to drag or tie anyone up. Just as Chris was breaking down, and the situation was chaotic, the real killer appeared. This person had been lurking in the dark, watching for the right moment, and struck during the chaos. After the killing, killer calmly completed an elaborate cover-up,
using rope from the warehouse to bind the body. Deliberate Shenzhen Ken's blowed and loose to create a framing illusion, using the tide to drag the body and concealed traces, wiping off their framed fingerprints and inducing the emotional broken Chris to touch the murder weapon to Destin Udges. Alphiclay stressed the all suspicion. This person knows the tides, knows the estate lake out, knows everyone's secrets and weaknesses. They know how to use Ken's identity to frame others, use Christrit to take the fall, calculating to the extreme. The real killer is not a long venting impulse, but a strong one hiding among you, using murder the gray anchor steadied perfectly, closed loop.
Now that we've come to this, there's no need for anyone to pretend to be in a distant. Let me ask all of you one question. Which one of you, not even for a single moment, hasn't wanted Stephanie dead? She held all of our secrets over us. She trampled on our dignity. She pushed us to the point of no return. She wanted to destroy our careers, our reputations, our families, our lives. She turned all of us into pawns she controlled, jokes she laughed at. I hated her. And so did all of you. I wanted her gone. And every single one of you, in the dead of night, has had the exact same thought. So, Sheriff, there's no need to keep interrogating everyone one by one, trying to find the single killer. On this isolated Black Reef Island, all of us, driven to the edge by Stephanie, every one of us had murder in our hearts. As long as Stephanie is willing to settle this privately, without exposing my marriage scam publicly, I can give up everything, disappear completely from her and Sydney's world, even if I end up with nothing. In such a hurry to meet me privately? The gala hasn't even officially started and you've already lost your composure, completely panicked?
I don't want to make a big scene, and I certainly don't want a public confrontation. Don't say that lets everyone laugh at us.
You don't want to make a big scene, and you think this can just negotiate terms with me now. What makes you think I'll go along with what you want?
I beg you, don't destroy the only dignity I have left to live on. Now you know fear, now you beg for mercy. Back when you were happily occupying my marriage, my identity, my life, living comfortably day after day, did you ever think about the situation you'd be in today?
I was also deceived by Sydney. From beginning to end, I was an unwilling victim. Just like you, I'm also a casualty of this scam. Stop playing the victim for sympathy. That doesn't work on me. I don't care about your grievances one bit. Just say it. Why did you insist on meeting me tonight? What do you really want?
I just want you to cancel that fraudulent overseas marriage registration. The estate assets, post-marriage dividends, social connections, I'll give up all of it. I'll leave with nothing, leave Black Refined immediately and never show again.
Let you go? You don't deserve it.
Sydney deceived both of us. We're both victims. Why should I be the only one to bear all the humiliation and shame? You were born privileged, you have a safety net, but I have nothing. Dignity is my only card, my only reason to keep living.
So you do know how pitiful and pathetic you are. But sadly, your misery doesn't move me. Your grievances, I don't want to empathize with them at all.
I can apologize to you. I can bow deeply and admit my fault.
From now on, I will never compete with you for anything. I won't disturb your life. I'll do whatever you say, no resistance.
This groveling, desperate look of yours is actually much more pleasing to the eye than your usual fake noble lady act. But I don't need your compromise, and I don't need your apology. Only thing I want to do is watch you fall from the top and shatter into pieces.
I have never intentionally hurt you. Not once. I didn't take anything from you. I didn't harm you. I've always kept to myself. What did I ever do wrong to you? You've been comfortably occupying the position that should have been mine for 2 years. Enjoying my marriage, my identity, my glory. Isn't that enough? That's your greatest sin.
I was kept in the dark by Sydney from start to finish. I'm also the most foolish victim.
I don't want to hear any of your excuses. Your groveling today isn't because you realize you were wrong. It's because you're afraid of being humiliated, afraid of losing everything you have. Yes, I am afraid. I'm afraid of everyone pointing fingers, mocking me. Afraid that my years of dignity and reputation will completely collapse.
I can lose all my wealth, but I cannot lose my final bottom line and dignity as a human being.
Unfortunately, life has no lucky breaks. Winning and losing have never been up to you. Tonight, your dignity is destined to be shattered beyond repair.
I've already backed down to the very end, groveled to the very end. Can't you just give me one chance to make things right? Just this once, only this once. I'll remember your kindness for the rest of my life.
No time.
I said no time.
No time to clean up your mess for you. No time to cover up your ridiculous dignity. And certainly no time to indulge your cheap, pitiful self-respect. The consequences of the mistakes you made yourself, you should bear them. This isn't a mess! This is my entire life! With one careless word from you, you can completely destroy my entire life! How can you be so ruthless?
To me, your life is just an irrelevant mess. You think I kept that marriage record all this time for money? From the very beginning, it was to torment you. To make you live in fear every single day and night, terrified that you'll be ruined at any moment.
I've already given you everything I have. I have nothing left. What more do you want from me to finally let me go? I want you completely ruined. I want you to not be able to lift your head in front of everyone tonight. I want the dignity, the pride, the reputation you're most proud of in this life, torn apart by me in public, shattered into nothing. The more you care about something, the more I want to destroy it.
You're too cruel. You know I have nothing. You know I can't withstand this kind of destruction, yet you insist on completely destroying me.
If you can't bear it, then don't pretend you can. You were always just a fake in this marriage, a substitute. And the ending for a substitute is to be exposed and eliminated in public.
I'm a victim too! I was also deceived, also hurt! But why do you keep giving me any way out?
Because you're the easiest to bully, because you care most your face and you're the easiest to control. Tonight, at the gala, I will publicly reveal everything. You can just wait to die a social death and be Connor Laughlin.
Stop right there. Are you really not going to leave me any way out? Do you really have to drive me death?
Way out? I've already given you 2 years of way out. It's your own greed, holding to a position that doesn't belong to you, refusing to let go. Now that you're at a dead end, you beg for mercy? Too late, everything is too late.
I'm not greedy, I never took anyone's place. I was deceived from start to finish. Why won't you believe me? Why do you have to destroy me?
Believe you? You who women buy by marriage and play the noble lady, you're best at playing pitiful, seeking sympathy, acting innocent. Not a single word you say is a believe him.
I don't want to be a joke! I don't want everyone pointing fingers at me! I don't want to be ruined!
You don't get to choose. What? Lost your mind completely? Getting angry because I hit a nerve? So what if you're crazy? Do you dare to hit me? Do you have the guts? She's not dead. She's just unconscious for now. Once she wakes up, she will definitely take revenge on me twice as hard. Expose all my secrets in public. Use every means to destroy my life and make my life worse than death.
I can't let her wake up. No way. If she wakes up, I'm finished. I'll be ruined, left with nothing. She pushed me to this. She pushed me to this.
Stop fighting me! Don't move! Stop moving! Stay still! You left me no way out! I have to do this!
I only wanted to live a stable life and keep my dignity. I never wanted to hurt anyone. You pushed me step by step, left me no way out, and completely cut off all my escapes. Since you won't give me a way to live, then you can just shut up forever and stay here.
The tide is about to completely cover this shoal.
Soon.
This entire place will be completely submerged by seawater. All traces will be washed away by the tide. This is my only chance.
This kind of professional sailor's knot only Ken knows how to tie. Everyone will suspect him first. I never intended to kill anyone from the beginning, but her persistent torment, her endless humiliation, her relentless persecution, they forced an ordinary law-abiding person like me into becoming a killer. She destroyed my dignity, cut off my escape route, so she deserves to bear the consequences.
The tide marks, the sailor's knot, the travel records all point to you. What do you have to say for yourself?
No excuses, no need. I killed him. I did it all.
Why? Money? Marriage? Premeditated murder?
I never kill for money, status, marriage, or any benefit. My only obsession is dignity. I've lived my whole life on this. At a banquet, turned me into everyone's joke. I begged. I gave in. I gave her chance after chance. She kept pushing, trapped me, left me no way out. Stephanie wanted to crush my dignity publicly. At a banquet, turned me into everyone's joke. I begged. I gave in. I gave her chance after chance. She kept pushing, trapped me, left me no way out. I confess, I lost control. I staged the scene, framed another. I'll take the punishment. But I regret nothing. She destroyed my life first. I just kept the last shred of my dignity.
You said she had a secret. What secret?
That secret.
Kid, you're so foolish. If you had been willing to talk to us more, ask for help just once, you wouldn't have been pushed to make a mistake with your own hands, fall into this state.
Some things are an inborn dignity. Once shattered, they can never be pieced back together. Rather than living each day humiliated, pointed at, trapped in the shadows, I would rather pay for the last shred of my dignity. No regrets.
You know clearly that murder must be paid with life. This choice will completely destroy your future.
My life was already destroyed the moment she decided to expose me publicly and crush my dignity.
What I did today is just holding on to the last trace of human dignity in a life that has completely collapsed.
This island isolated in the deep sea has witnessed deception, oppression, malice, and a desperate situation. There is no absolute murder, and there is no pure innocent person. Everyone is a prop. Everyone has selfish intentions, desire, and obsessions surround. Everyone fall in the end. No one retreats, and no one can be freed.